Hey everyone, what is going on? So we are going up against Trexler. As usual, he's becoming my new PvP battler. I will be battling Jokes more often as well. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at his team. He does have Laren, Alola, Ninetales, Nidoqueen, Raichu, Umbreon, and Vaporeon. And my team is Donphan, Alola, Ninetales, Alola, and Marowak, Bibarel, Nidoqueen, and Linoone. So we will be focusing on Nidoqueen, and I gotta tell you, I really liked the performance of this. I know a lot of people prefer Nidoking, but Nidoking and Nidoqueen have different abilities. Like they have different tasks, right? They do different things because Nidoking goes after the Umbreon with Fury Cutter if you do happen to have the Legacy one, whereas Nidoqueen is better against the Charm users because it has Poison Jab. Now you could have Poison Jab on Nidoking, but Nidoqueen is bulkier, so if you're going with Poison Jab, definitely would go with the Nidoqueen. But if you're going with like Fury Cutter for the Dark Pokemon or something, it's better to go with Nidoking, obviously, because only Nidoking gets Fury Cutter. Unfortunately, I do not have one, so I will not be able to use that, or at least try it out. And a Fury Cutter on Nidoking really isn't that great against Charm users, because Charm, even though it's resistant, is still doing a decent amount because Charm is such a good move. So yeah, Nidoqueen, definitely really liked it. I do have Earthquake and Earth Power on mine currently, as well as a fast move Poison Jab. So yeah, definitely a lot of fun. Alola Ninetales does have Psyshock, but it doesn't knock out the Nidoqueen. It doesn't do too much. It does okay damage. I mean, as you can see, it did okay against him. Actually able to feint him. But yeah, so it does okay damage. But either way, Nidoqueen is definitely a lot of fun, and we'll be using it for this video. And I think it's a good charm counter. I really do. I think it's really solid. Whether they have Alola Ninetales or Granbull, definitely really good to go up against them. But for the next match, I have my King Bibarel against Vaporeon. Now, as I've mentioned in the previous video, I know that Vaporeon does not have Last Resort because it has the flower in its head. So just a little hint to me that tells me it does not have Last Resort, which is good for me. It gives me knowledge. But anyway, he's going to go for the Aqua Tail. We do go ahead and take it, and then he switches into Nidoqueen. Very interesting switch, but I'm going to go ahead and go for my Surf to see how much damage it will do. I know it's going to do a decent amount, or it's going to catch a shield, so we do go ahead and get one shield, and then we try for another Surf and see if we can get another one. So we do take both shields just with Bibarel, so really happy about that. Unfortunately, can't get to another one. And he did get up a bunch of energy, so pretty confident he has an Earth Power ready to go. So, do I take this one? No, I decide to shield it. Okay, so we shield that Earth Power, and luckily my defense is not lowered. He's actually able to get to another one, so this one I will take. As you can see, we do take it, doing a good amount of damage. He pulls the switch into Umbreon, so I'm going to go ahead and just go for a hard-hitting move. Thunder, trying to do as much damage as possible. And this is where Nidoking would be better if we had the Fury Cutter, but we don't, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and take this move. It happens to be a foul play. It does good damage, but we're still able to take it. So we're going to take another one, another foul play. So almost knocking us out. We're charging up for the Earthquake. We do not have to worry about a shield because he doesn't have any left. So we do go ahead and go for that Earthquake, which will knock out Umbreon. So at least we got rid of that tank, because that is a difficult Pokemon to deal with. I guess unless if you have a Charm user. He does faint down my Nidoqueen quickly, so that's one thing you do have to watch out for, is a water type like Vaporeon or Bibarel or Suicune, right? And then he brings in his Nidoqueen, and I just faint him down with my fast moves, and then I go for my Grass Knot. I don't think maybe I needed Grass Knot. Maybe he could have fainted me first. I don't know. It would have been really close. But we do go ahead and go for that Grass Knot to secure the win and take it. So picking up 1,000 Stardust, that's always nice. Definitely take that. So we're going to go ahead and jump into another game. I do lead with Nidoqueen, and we catch his Charm user. So this is definitely positive for us. He brings in Vaporeon, and I bring in my Alolan Ninetales just to chunk away at that Vaporeon. Look how much damage that is taking. I do go ahead and take this move. It is a Hydro Pump. I actually was thinking it would be an Aqua Tail, so nice play on his end to hit me with a Hydro Pump. I am going to go ahead and bring in B-Barrel, and this move I will be able to take no matter what it is. It is an Aqua Tail, so just trying to feint him down with Water Guns. And are we going to do it? Yes, we are. I thought he would have been able to get to another Aqua Tail, but I guess not. Either way, we have energy banked and ready to go, so he does bring in his Alolan Ninetales, and I'm going to click on that Surf to try and do quite a bit of damage. As you can see right there, we're able to get back-to-back Surfs, so that's always good, always good. He is going to shield one of them, just not wanting to take that damage because we would have knocked out the Ninetales. He is going to feint us. I bring in my Nidoqueen, hoping to feint him, and we are before he gets off his Psy-Shock. And then he brings in Nidoqueen of his own, so looking pretty good for us because we're able to go for the Earth Power, which I assumed would be shielded as it is, and then we're going to be able to charge up to Earthquake, excuse me, and even if he got to his charge move, we had 2 shields, so we're able to go for that Earthquake and knock out Nidoqueen, but just doing a massive amount of damage, a ton of damage. Really loving Nidoqueen. It really is the queen, and I love it. Yeah, I do. So we're going to jump into another game, and I do lead with my Ninetales, and he leads with his Raichu, so I decide to stay in this matchup. Pretty good for us. I mean, he will be able to hit us with strong damage, although he just decides to switch, which I enjoyed, you know, I like that he switched, because I'm able to bring in my Nidoqueen. Probably should have saved up that energy and just switched right into Nidoqueen and farmed down the Ninetales, so I do believe that was a mistake on my end. I shouldn't have used that Psy-Shock, I should have saved it, but that's okay. Anyway, we go ahead and go for the Earth Power, hoping to catch a shield, and let's see if we do. We do catch it, so that is good for us. Trying to get to another one. Do I shield this? I think I do. Yeah, I do decide to shield it last minute, so because I was pretty confident we could get to another Earth Power, as we do. So, trying to take his last shield. Let's see if we're able to do so. Yes, we are. So, pretty solid for us, and he's just going to commit to fainting my Nidoqueen down at that point. Although he does have energy banked, so we do have to be careful. But I do bring in Linoone, and at this point, I knew he had enough for his Hydro Pump, but he decides to switch into Raichu. So we're able to take that, and we actually charge up enough for a Grass Knot, trying to knock out his Raichu. Let's see what happens. We do go ahead and knock it out, of course, and then he brings in his Vaporeon. I think I let Linoone go. Yeah, I let Linoone go. Actually, it survives, but I was expecting a Hydro Pump, but I guess he was trying to catch the last shield. So we're able to shield this one, which is going to be an Aqua Tail. And then we're just going to be able to not faint him down. He actually gets to another Aqua Tail, but we're going to be able to take it and then feint him down with another Charm. So we do go ahead and win that one. So these were really good games. Thanks for the battles as well, because I love testing out new Pokemon, so it's definitely a lot of fun battling. And a lot of fun using Nidoqueen. So he is using Nidoqueen against my Linoone. So I believe I just... Let's see what I do. I think I charge up quite a bit of energy. We go for the Grass Knot. See how much damage this Linoone is going to do. He does let it go through, and we actually pull the switch into B-Barrel. And I do let this Earth Power go through, which is actually going to really do a lot of damage. So maybe the switch wasn't the best idea in the world, but that's okay. Anyway, I go for the Surf, which will take a shield. Yeah, Raichu is really good. It just has to use shield in order to stay alive. So we go ahead and bring in Nidoqueen, and I know Nidoqueen can take whatever this Raichu wants to throw at it. Brick Break, Wild Charge, no problem. Resist both moves, can take them. So he does decide to go for the Brick Breaks, which I do think is the correct move, but I'm able to take them. I mean, at the end of the day, the damage is adding up because Brick Break charges up so fast, but you know, we're still able to farm that Raichu, and he actually hits off another one. So I'm going to let it go through, and we're going to take it as we can. So we do go ahead and commit to fainting that Raichu down, and then I think I am going for the Earth Power. Or am I going for the Earthquake? I guess I go for the Earthquake against this Umbreon after seeing how tanky Umbreon is. He does let it go through, and we actually get to an Earth Power. So expecting the shield at this point in time, he does go ahead and shield, and we lower his defense. So that's really good for us. to lower the defense. Gonna go ahead and block this foul play. Not sure why I blocked it. Maybe I shouldn't have blocked that. I guess I blocked it because I had 2 shields available, and I don't know. Probably shouldn't have blocked that, but we go ahead and bring in Linoone, and now we only have 1 shield, so I should have saved my shields for this Linoone, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and take this foul play, and I actually go for the Grass Knot against his Nidoqueen. Now, when I saw the switch, I did click on Grass Knot, and I knew he had Nidoqueen in the back, but I thought it had more health than it actually did, so I didn't really need to use that Grass Knot against Nidoqueen. I just thought that it had more health than it did, you know, so I meant to do the Grass Knot for the Nidoqueen. I just probably shouldn't have. Either way, we do go ahead and win that one. So we're going to jump into another game as well. I do lead with B-Barrel, and he leads with Vaporeon. So this is about an even matchup. I mean, we both have water guns, and he doesn't have Last Resort. He has Hydro Pump instead. Now, I knew this was too early for a Hydro Pump, so I go ahead and take it. Even if it was a Hydro Pump, I would have taken it anyway. And now I go for my Surf against the Raichu, hoping to catch a shield, and we're actually not able to. Again, I shouldn't have used Surf against the Raichu. I should have just switched into Nidoqueen, but I was pretty confident he was going to use a shield there, so that's why I decided to go ahead and use the Surf, but he doesn't go ahead and shield, so wasn't able to catch the shield. So I do go ahead and go for the Earthquake. And yeah, at this point, I wasn't sure if he was going to shield this one or not. He does decide to shield it, so Earth Power would have been a better play, but that's okay. We go ahead and shield this because I know I could get to an Earth Power before he gets to another Aqua Tail, as we do. So hoping to catch his last shield. Let's see what happens. We do. So he does go ahead and invest both shields into Vaporeon, and then I switch into my B-Barrel and go for the Surf instead of going straight for the Hyper Fang, excuse me. I almost said Hyper Beam, but yeah, Hyper Fang. He does go ahead and go for the Aqua Tail, and I'm able to take it and feint him down. So he does bring in his Nidoqueen, not able to get to Surf, unfortunately, but I bring in my Nidoqueen, and he does actually farm me down, which is really unfortunate for us. So not looking too good. We go ahead and shield this Earth Power, and it actually lowers our defense, so that's really unfortunate. But again, it doesn't matter because we're not able to get to the Psyshock. He would have been able to feint Nidoqueen, Alola Ninetales anyway. So he gets off the Stone Edge, and he does go ahead and take this one. So I feel like I made a couple mistakes in this battle that may have turned the tide of the game, but that's okay. Not a big deal. So just getting a feel for the format and the different Pokemon that we are using. So he does win the lead on that one. So I switch into my Nidoqueen. A little nervous that he would switch into his Vaporeon, but he hasn't yet. So at least we're able to charge up energy. He does go for the Earth Power and then brings in Umbreon, which tells me he doesn't have Vaporeon with him, which is always nice. I do go for the Earthquake. Wasn't expecting a shield, and that's why I went for the Earthquake, and he doesn't give up a shield. So we're going to go ahead and take this. It is going to be a foul play, but we're able to take it. Trying to get to an Earth Power, we do get to it. So that is really good for us. And let's see what happens. He will go ahead and shield that, which is totally fine because we wanted to catch a shield anyway. So we will go ahead and block this and then switch into my Charm User, which I will be able to knock out Umbreon with. So I wanted to charge up a little bit of energy because I'm out of shield. So trying to get to the Psyshock before he's able to get to his move. So we are. And as you know, this doesn't feint Nidoqueen at all. But so he will let it go through, and then he'll get off his charge move. Probably one or two more charms to feint that Nidoqueen, but that's okay. So he does go ahead and knock out the Ninetales, and I will decide, thinking about it for a little bit, I do bring in my Nidoqueen, trying to feint him down, and we actually are able to do it. I go for the Earthquake against the Raichu, so once I see it was Raichu, I knew he was going to shield even if it was an Earth Power. So I immediately switch into my Linoone because I don't want him to charge up a bunch of energy. So, yeah, we go ahead and take this, which is going to be a wild charge, but we could only take one wild charge. We couldn't take more, so I'm going to go ahead and go for the Grass Knot, and does a lot of damage, and I'm just trying to feint him down with Shadow Claw, and we do. So Linoone really putting in work, a nice teamwork with Nidoqueen and Linoone. So yeah, so we're going to jump into another game with Nidoqueen. I do lead with it, and he leads with the Umbreon. So we've seen this matchup before in this video, and we'll see what happens. So we're going to go ahead and take whatever move this is, and it is a foul play, which is what I was expecting. So just charging up for Earthquake. I do generally go for the Earthquake against Umbreon because my opponent knows that it's not going to knock it out no matter what move it is, Earth Power, Earthquake, Stone Edge. So they usually let it go through, so you might as well go for the Earthquake, which is what I do. So Nidoqueen really doing a lot of damage to that Umbreon. I lagged a little bit, which I feel like prevented me from getting to the Earth Power. I'm not too sure, but either way, that's okay, no big deal. So we're going to go ahead and take this move. It is going to be that last resort. Again, I wish I had one, but I don't. So we do go ahead and knock out his Umbreon with Water Gun, and then we're going to see what comes in. It is going to be that Alolan Ninetales, and we will go for the Hyper Fang. And let's see, he does go ahead and block that, and we're just going to try and do as much damage as possible. I knew I wouldn't get to another Surf, that's okay. I bring in Linoone, and we're trying to get to the Grass Knot. We do manage to get to it, so let's see what happens with this. He does go ahead and shield, so yeah, really not looking too good for us. Maybe I was a little bit too stingy on the shields. I try to feint down to have a lot of energy for whatever comes in, but I wasn't able to do so, and we feint with both shields remaining, so never fun to do, but it happens occasionally. As I said, too stingy with the shield. So again, we see the matchup. I decide to switch into my Alolan Ninetales. He does bring his Lava in this game, unfortunately, so not looking good for us. I was banking on the fact that he wouldn't bring it because he hasn't been bringing it. So, but he actually does for this game, so nice play on his end, and he does feint us down. At least we took a shield. I was actually surprised at that shield, but I guess, you know, it kind of makes sense. Anyway, he will go ahead and go for his charge move, which is going to be a Body Slam. Does a good amount of damage as well. So, yeah, we're really not in a good position. I probably could have been using shield. He actually hits us with a Rock Slide, so I was expecting another Body Slam. And we both go down at the same time, and then I bring in my Nidoqueen. And let's see what he brings in. He does decide to bring in his Umbreon. So I am going to go ahead and let this go through. So again, being really stingy with my shields. At this point, I probably should have been using them. But I don't know. I really wanted to save up energy. And I wanted to save up my shields for whatever comes in. It is going to be that Ninetales. And that's really unfortunate for us. I go ahead and go for the Earth Power to try and take his last shield. I was expecting the shield to come up. It does not, which is unfortunate for us. I wanted the shield to come up. But anyway, I go for another Earth Power. And I knew the shield had to come at this point, right? He does not shield that. So if I went for the Earthquake, I actually would have won this one. But it's going to be very close. And I try to feint him down. I do not. So really well played with his shields to not shield in certain situations, and to shield in certain situations, so nicely played. So for this game, we lead Bibel against Vaporeon, as usual. We've seen that matchup. So he switches into Ninetales. I will pull a switch without using any energy into my Nidoqueen, and trying to feint him down, I do decide to shield. I could have survived this Psyshock, but I still decide to shield. It actually is an Ice Beam, so it was a good thing I did shield it. Because I believe that more than likely would have knocked us out. So he brings in Vaporeon, and I'm going to go ahead and go for the Earth Power. And I was pretty confident he would shield there. We actually get off another Earth Power, which, let's see if he shields. I think he does shield this one. No, he does not. So at least we take one shield. So Nidoqueen really coming in handy. I noticed he lagged a little bit, so I stopped attacking. I don't know if that affected him from getting to another Aqua Tail. So if it did, I do apologize for that. But I go for the Earthquake, and that will knock out Linoone, and he lets it go through, maybe figuring he had lost this one already. So I'm not really too sure, and that will be it for this video, guys. See you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.